Hey, look at there. You see him? Well, open your damn eyes then. It's the old-timey down-home country Red State Update podcast and them. Coming to you from a bunker underneath Jockey's Market in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. And now, here they are, both of them.
Hey everybody, it's Jackie Bros.
Folks, this is Dunlap. I'm Jackie Bros' mentor.
What?
Aren't you supposed to be called Jockey too?
No, that's.
Let's start over.
No, not
I'm
on this.
Dunlap.
No, because he didn't like this. No how.
This is Jockey 2. A lesser jockey.
If you come into the store until I get that again, and I'm a Nashville lawyer, but I'm gonna try to get him to work in some of this. I can only be called that when you come in to buy something from a store, and you ain't ever spent a dime in that store, whether it's mine or this one.
So these are just ideas you want to run by a lawyer if you ever get the nerve up to talk to one.
What?
That you only have to be called Jockey 2 in the store. All I remember
That's
is
what
that
it says
lawyer.
in the will. That's what it says if I inherited all this.
Sounds like you're doing a lot of interpretation of the law.
Well, I don't know how to do that. Somebody who does, they get paid for it, and they'll figure all this out. But because I don't want to sit, because to me, I don't think, if McCain says there ain't torture anymore, this country don't torture, then the law shouldn't torture. This is what I call this. He give me this store. I always hated this store, never have liked this store. I never did like him. Now, when I needed a job, you beggars couldn't be choosers. You had to, say what you
and he put Jockey 2 through the ringer, boy.
I
made Jockey 2 grovel and crawl on his belly.
Jockey, again, you ain't bought a thing. You don't call me that. And I think every time you call me that, you're going to have to buy something. That's what I think is how I have to work that out.
Yeah,
if you call me Jockey 1, 2, any of that, I'm going to say you owe me 25 cents or $1, however much for everything you get in the cooler from up there.
I don't come to Jockey 2 for legal advice, let me tell you that. And if you went into a courtroom and started spouting all this nonsense, you're like, Judge, I'm going to represent myself in this case because I have a lot of opinions. The judge would say, Jockey 2, sit your dumb ass down.
All right. Watch your mouth. Not going to talk about this.
And then you're going to tell
anymore.
a judge to go buy a damn Coke?
What?
You going to tell a judge it calls you Jockey 2?
If he ain't in the store, he ain't got to call me
Maybe
that.
it's a woman judge.
Or she ain't going to call me that.
Oh, there you go. Now you're woke.
Whichever one it is. I don't make a damn difference. Whoever the judge is, unless they're coming in a damn store to buy something, they don't call me that.
Maybe we should call them them.
What is it?
They.
Who?
The judge.
The judge? There ain't but one of them. If I see one, I may have to, there'll be a few lawyers, but hopefully there ain't but one judge going to look at this and make up his mind, her mind, whatever it is.
Folks, we have a lot of news to get to today. Let's just name off some of the things. Bill O'Reilly, United Airlines, Sean Spicer, Steve Bannon, the mother of all bombs, North Korea, Trump mad at the protesters, that Kansas election. I could go on and on. It was a busy week.
Before we get into that, before you figure out what to call me on that, just wish everybody a happy Easter out there.
Happy Easter, folks. We're recording this on Easter Sunday.
He put this on the computer a little earlier or something like that, so some people like to listen to things on the day that they're talking about. I know I do. If I turn it on the news or something and they're talking about what happened yesterday, I'd be like, well, hell, I already did that.
Jackie, you want some of these eggs?
Eggs.
Twix eggs.
Well, yeah, I want Twix eggs.
And listen, not only Twix eggs, look at here.
What do you got? You got all sorts of stuff. There's Twix eggs. What's
I
this?
got Twix eggs. Now, these were they got a little melted. But then I put them in the freezer.
Okay, well, I don't care if I like that's why I like a Twix eggs, because of the way, the shape or whatnot. But if it's a little
melted, so I'm afraid it's going to fuck up the mouthfeel.
Watch your mouth.
Here's a Dove egg with peanut butter in it.
Dove.
Here's a Butterfinger cup egg.
Well, everybody's doing this egg thing except for Twix.
Here's a damn Crunch,
Butterfinger.
Nestle Crunch egg.
I don't like Butterfinger. You can take this one back because I don't. That gets all.
It's a
crunchy.
damn Butterfinger cup
It's
egg.
crunchy. I don't care what shape a Butterfinger's in. It's hot. It makes my mouth dry. I don't like it.
It makes your mouth dry. Are you thinking of a damn Zagnut? It ain't the same. Butterfinger is more in the flake family of candy bars.
There's enough flakes in my mouth gets it dry. I don't like it, and the chocolate ain't enough of it to wet it, so I don't. It gets dry. I don't like them. Butterfingers.
So you're saying the Butterfingers? I think you're thinking of a Zagnut because that does get a little powdery.
No, the
in your
Butterfingers got orange inside, ain't it?
Yeah.
Well, that's
So
what
it's
I
a
thought.
Zagnut, but like a faded orange.
Well, I ain't had a Zagnut in years, and no, I don't like a Butterfinger. So there.
Zagnut's like a Butterfinger that a Dracula got a hold of and sucked half the life out of it, and it just wanders the streets, and people go, "There's another of Dracula's victims."
Dracula, they candy bar, but I don't like what is Zagnut if it's less flavor and more dry than Butterfinger, I sure as hell don't want
Why
one.
don't you get you something good to drink? So when you get your mouthful
No.
of that powdery candy, you get just
If it's good candy,
Wet
I
your
don't
whistle.
want to drink right after it. I want to enjoy the taste in the mouthfeel, all that. I want to enjoy the candy. If I got to take a drink of my beer or whatever I've got to wash it down real quick to get the flavor, then that means I don't like it. So I don't like Butterfinger. You can say whatever you want about it. I don't like it.
But we do like the Twix egg to go. I don't know
Oh,
if these got too melted in the car. Here's the thing. I bought
Well,
these.
I opened one. Where'd it go? Oh, here it is. I had one. I was working on one, and you started throwing more at me.
I also got some of these Kit Kat bunny ears.
Bunny ears.
Yeah, let's see if these look like bunny ears.
I like Kit Kat. That's good.
Oh, I see. So the Kit Kat bunny ears, Jackie, if you take a look here,
Oh.
it's a Kit Kat, and instead of 4 bars, it's still 4 bars, but also at the end of 2 bars, the bars are sort of coupled. They fuse together, 2 of them, into a bunny rabbit's head. You see?
No, I see. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's I haven't seen that before. Kit Kat bunny ears. I wonder if they'll come out with maybe Twix Egg bunny ears.
Well, Twix Egg don't need anything else. It needs to stay Twix Egg. That's why I like it.
And don't eat in the microphone. We get a lot of notes on that. Listen, we need to. The thing that never has happened, even though we've had Twix Egg on here several times, is that the damn Twix Egg needs to be year round, and we've never got anybody from Twix to acknowledge that.
Ain't nobody from Twix listen to this. What do you mean? They should be. There gotta be something you could write in. Just saying it on here don't make Twix one way or the other. If you need to write people doing it on computer all the time. Letters used to be write letters sent to it. Now people get on Twitter's twice.
We told people to get us in the Grand Ole Opry, and then we kind of dropped that. So I feel kind of bad. But that was for us, and Twix Egg is for humanity.
That's for everybody. Yeah, everybody enjoy Twix Egg year round. Might as well.
So a lot of eggs. I'd imagine that's a fairly easy shape for a candy bar company to do.
I know it takes away the special of it. This special only get this time makes people want it more. But I'm gonna tell you right now, if you had it year round, I get them all the time.
I was in damn Kroger and I seen some cookies you could make. It was a cookie making kit. It was like, get this kit, make you some Easter cookies in the shape of a cross.
In the shape of a cross.
That seems a little.
You ought not eat a cross. That's what
I don't think you should eat a cross either. That's why I'll guarantee you somebody at Kit Kat was like, look, what we do, Kit Kat crosses. And then somebody's like, don't eat a cross, eat a bunny ear or
Well,
something.
they got better sense than that, yeah.
You can eat a bunny ear.
What's this, a Dove? Dove bar. But that ain't I can't. This first time I had one of these and it melted, so.
It melted, so we can't. Well, wait, hold on.
Well, I ain't gonna open another one over there. That's wasteful.
Yeah, I'm gonna open this one, see if it kept its shape. What happened was I went to.
With it, just like a Twix egg, except it's a Dove bar, right? The same
Yeah,
thing.
look here. Look at here.
Right, it's the egg, yeah.
Yeah, it's just egg shaped. It's got peanut butter in it. How's it taste?
Man, it's off peanut butter, but yeah.
Is it
Ain't got no cookie in it to crunch that part.
Yeah, it's just chocolate. It's
just-
missing something.
Yeah. Twix know how to add that little extra and not make it dry your mouth out.
You know, Jackie, there are podcasts that just review snacks.
I'd rather do that and talk about Bill O'Reilly any day.
As bad as it is for us to sit here talking about candy with our mouths full and smacking into the microphone, imagine Bill O'Reilly doing that.
Oh, hell.
And then smug. Now we got opinions. I mean, we like a Twix egg. You know, Butterfinger makes Jackie's mouth dry, too dry, full of dry powder. He's got to put something wet in there to get it to go
Waste of
down.
time. I ain't gonna enjoy the taste of them.
But Bill O'Reilly's opinions on candy bars would be smug as fuck, son.
Hey, watch your mouth. You don't have to say it that way. Well, he got an attitude about whatever it is. Yeah, it don't matter what he says.
That's his motto. Attitude about whatever it is. The Bill O'Reilly program.
Might as well call it that. That's what it is. I'm mad about this. I'm mad about that. What you call pinheads? Pinheads. That dumb old pinhead. That was the name of the show at one time, wasn't it?
Dumb old pinhead.
Not him, but who he. You know, he wasn't. He should call everybody else one or whatever. So that dumb old pinhead show. He'd get on there. I knew people that was part of the show. They'd just watch that. That's the only part, and they turn off the rest of it. You're always curious, even though I'd hard to sit through O'Reilly for a whole show. But, you know, you won't know who the pinhead was that week. 'Cause sometimes I agree with him on that, so that's an ask, you know.
Sometimes it'd just be like his gardener.
Yeah. Everybody
Is it
does
too much
something.
to ask for you to close the gate? I went to Home Depot and I bought a thing to wind the hose around.
He just trying to be Andy Rooney is all he's doing as far as that.
Sometimes it's a little Andy Rooney. He will wind up an Andy Rooney who asked to see girls' pussies.
I'd watch it. I don't want to hear about what he did, any of that.
Now,
If
a lot of people say, I don't like Andy Rooney. Andy Rooney's a joke. But you tell me how many times Andy Rooney got in trouble for using an imbalanced power structure to try to get laid. Or just be creepy or threaten people with that. Just, Andy Rooney didn't do that. He probably did, and we just don't know about it. But it doesn't matter.
You can be unpleasant and somebody at work walk down the hall and still think you a butthole, and you don't have to make it worse. Because I'm sure nobody liked to talk to him, but it wasn't because he did stuff like, you said, or they're saying Bill O'Reilly did. It's still like, I'll see it on the show. Save it for the show, because you figure if you talk to him in the hallway,
I'm
he'd
just
start.
getting to the part about the
I'll see it.
cucumbers don't taste like they did when I was a kid.
I'll see it eventually. I want to hear it in the hallway.
But he's not. Would you like to hear about how cucumbers don't taste like they did when I was a kid at the bar?
Yeah.
What do you like for breakfast? Because I'm still going to be talking about how cucumbers don't taste like they did when I was a kid. After I'm just going to stop.
That's just on the TV show. That's all it did. Yeah, he didn't like this. He's an old man. Didn't like nothing. Well,
That's where Bill O'Reilly's headed. I mean, maybe not anymore.
Ain't that what it? That's what it always been. Except he's meaner, I guess, or whatever.
Also, Andy Rooney wrote books that were like his columns, his correspondence.
Nobody got killed in them.
What are those books?
I ain't ever read, because some of them made TV shows, saw some of it, something. He killed people, killing Lincoln, he killed Jesus once. Did he kill the Constitution or killing America or something like that? I mean,
That's going too far. Did he kill the moon landing?
Probably. Whoever got killed, he wrote a book about it. Anybody got killed, he says he wrote a book about it. Other people say he don't have anything to do with it. He just put his name on it.
Do you think when a ghostwriter comes to Bill O'Reilly with one of them books, the ghostwriter says, do you think Bill O'Reilly's like, did he read it and go over it in every detail? Or is he just like,
He don't. What? You think Bill O'Reilly's going to take a time to read Killing Lincoln or any of that stuff?
does anybody take the time to read it? It's just a Father's Day gift, right? It's just like the last 5 years worth of Father's Day gifts. It's like neckties and Bill O'Reilly books.
Well, very much, yeah.
Go straight in the garage. You got a bookshelf in your garage, that's where the Bill O'Reilly books go. That's where your dad hides his cigarettes behind them.
And wind up down in Goodwill Salvation Army, something like that. You go to the book section.
Oh, Bill O'Reilly section.
Murfreesboro. Well, yeah, if they, what they have, like, here, you go in there and all it is just, it's all Rush Limbaugh, Bill O'Reilly. And, not the people don't like it anymore. They just read it. I mean, because those will fill yourself up. You won't have anything else up but those.
You got to get Daddy something for Daddy's Day. Coming up, Jackie. What do you want?
I don't want nothing.
Sometimes I get Jockey to here a little Father's Day present.
Shut your mouth.
Because he's been like a father in that he yells at me, sometimes throws ashtrays. I want to have this Butterfinger. See if you can hear the crunch.
I don't even like to hear the crunch of it. I don't like Butterfinger, just flaky, all in your mouth.
Now this is more like a dry. Look at here. It's more like a wet pile of caulk.
That's why you won't put that in your mouth.
I'm gonna say the shape of an egg doesn't lend itself.
I'm gonna eat one of these Kit Kat butter ears.
I'm gonna say that it's the opposite is happening here with the Butterfinger cup.
What?
Egg is that the mound of
Mound of what? Chocolate?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's too much Butterfinger in the middle of it.
Well, too much Butterfinger in a damn Butterfinger. I ain't ate the crunch egg. Dove was all right, but ain't nothing as good as a Twix egg so far on this Easter.
There ain't no crunch to this Butterfinger egg.
Well, the Dove thing was good. There was no crunch to that. The Butterfinger should have that flaky. It should be some kind of crunch. Kit Kat, hang on, got crunch. I'll take a bite of it. Yeah, Kit Kat just tastes the same, yeah.
Yeah, it's just the same, except the two bars fuse into a bunny head at
but
the
that
bottom.
don't. It's the same mouthfeel. If I didn't see the bunny drawn on it, it's going to be the same shape.
This is a good podcast.
I am.
Now I'm all jacked up on sugar, man.
I'm going to eat the rest of this, and that's it. I ain't going to eat no more.
You want some of this water
Nope.
to wash your mouth off and spit it in a bucket?
I didn't eat no Butterfinger. I don't need to wash it down. I won't savor the flavor, the taste.
What about some of this Jack Daniels Fire?
I'll get a little bit of that, yeah.
Folks, happy Easter once again. It's good to be back here with you in the springtime in our pastel overalls, talking to you about Twix Eggs. Just a good way to mark the passage of time and remember that on day 3, Jesus said, enough of this, and come kicking and clawing his way out of that tomb, flew straight up to heaven, and we are all hashtag blessed because of it.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you, Easter. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Easter Bunny. Bok bok.
I'm not crazy about the egg, all that stuff. I hope most of y'all went to church and didn't just passed on. I know we're supposed to give kids something fun. Rabbit, Santa Claus enough. They don't need to put eggs everywhere.
We had we were going to do the news. I may go straight into sponsors. Were we going to do the news or the sponsors first? I done forgot.
I was going to get the sponsors out of the way, which is never the case, but we do that first. Do.
You don't need anything to drink here? You got it?
I'm fine right now. I'll take some of that whiskey shot later.
I know we've had complaints when we eat on the show, but to me, nothing makes me laugh harder at my own antics than You and me, Jockey, too, sitting here stuffing candy bars in our mouths. No one else is ever going to think any of this is funny. As a matter of fact, people are probably, if they're listening to this on the way to work, throwing their phones out the damn window. But I'm enjoying it immensely.
I like all the candy, yeah. I don't eat it all the time. That's good. Well, I got a good sponsor this week. It's a good event, and it's tax time. Everybody knows around this time is Easter tax time, and there's another reason here in Murfreesboro we feel bad about tax time. We miss old Don Podge. Don Podge. Some of you who listen to this know who he is, and bless his heart, passed on.
We lost a few good ones last year,
Yes, we did.
and Don Podge was one of them.
Yeah, but we're going to have them. Now, he did people's taxes, if you explain what he did. Years ago, or not too long ago, he would do your taxes. He'd have you bring all the receipts down to his office. He'd go through each and every one of them, look at them, get it down, and then just set it on fire and hand you a copy of the Constitution. And I can't think of a better way to do taxes than that.
Yeah, he said there's no reason that, are you an American citizen? And you'd say, yeah, because he'd say it in a way that would set you back on your heel a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, he did what he did. He was
and then
professional, yeah.
And if you'd say yes, he said, and then he'd get that Kroger barbecue starter long ass red lighter out, and he'd set that on fire, and he'd say, "You ain't got to pay Uncle Sam a goddamn nickel."
Yeah, he don't have to say it that way. He did sometimes.
Sometimes he did.
Yeah, he did. Not all the time.
Not all the time. Sometimes you come in there cussing, he'd say, you don't need to do that kind of language here. You okay?
I guess I got all that.
Did you eat some of this Butterfinger after all that?
No, I didn't eat none of that Butterfinger. Hell no, I ain't gonna eat any of that. It'd dry my mouth out. I'd be coughing. You wouldn't have heard me say a word. But Don Podge, if you go around town, everybody's in this town, a lot of people in this town, I say, have a framed picture of the Constitution they got from doing taxes with Don Podge. Now, of course, when he get to you, he gave you the thing for free, Constitution free. If you want it framed, it'd be $20 extra. But every time he did such a good job of doing your taxes, you didn't mind at all. You wanted, give me a frame for that. I won't remember this.
Yeah, Don Podge also was a master of disguise.
Yeah.
Very important. Did a lot of investigations as a master of disguise. Sometimes you didn't know. You could tell sometimes, but sometimes you couldn't tell. You'd see the Undertaker walking down, aisle at Kroger, and you say, "Well, is it WWE doing a show in town?" And you say, "Oh, Dunlap, it's me." I'm like, "What are you doing?" He said, "I'm trying to see how long they keep this bread on the shelves," or whatever it was.
That wasn't the best disguise. I never understood that because everybody want an autograph or something come up to him. But he looked just like him. I don't know how he did it.
Just like him. And then his Dombots that he designed, I mean, they're not the best robots. You can see the hinges and hear the clicking and whirring. But
from a distance, you don't know.
From a distance, that's the thing. If you're like a sniper, it would totally throw you off. If you up in the hills outside of Murfreesboro, the hills that ring Murfreesboro, and you try to pick people off like in that movie. What's that movie we watched? I don't want to give the ending away, but it's got Jeff Bridges in it.
Who's in it?
Jeff Bridges.
Oh, yeah. Hell or High Water.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that's a good one. If you ain't seen that
I won't give the ending away, but it ends with a sniper situation in the hills ringing somewhere.
He's good in that one. Everybody's good in that, and that's a good Hell or High Water.
I seen somebody shoot at one of them Dombots before. Man, he was like, "Come here, look at this one." And he had him doing like oh, you know what? It's sad thinking about it now because Chuck Berry's dead, but he had one of them rigged up to do a duck walk.
Oh, yeah.
And he'd play the beginning of Johnny Be Good. And he'd be like, and then he'd have that Dombot duck. So, mostly he had them just to fool snipers and to do tricks.
Well, now I don't know if as many people after him as Dom said that there was, but there was definitely some people after him. I mean, he got trouble. Federally, you couldn't go to him, shut down his office, and he'd have to come to you. It weird. You had a weird kind of setup to figure out you take a call and hide here, whatever. And then
Had a lot of systems of
Yeah.
signals and codes.
And I mean, you'd eventually get to him, and he'd burn all the receipts up for you. He took care of that. But
Now in this age of fake news and the president watching that loudmouth, what's that guy's name in Texas? That paranoid got radio show like, hey, I'm getting fed up with the president.
I know who you talking about. What is his name? He's crazy as hell.
It's too bad Don Podge ain't around these days because it feels like we're living in a Don Podge age. But unfortunately, he passed away. Sometimes I see these Don bots. They still wander around on the street on their own.
There's a few loose, yeah.
Yeah, there's probably 9 or 10 of them still just wandering around the streets, and people. It's just, it reminds people of someone we lost.
Don't nobody know how to turn them off for him, so they probably just, I don't know, think their battery run out of something on it.
The longer they go, the louder they are, like clicking and whirring and coming towards you. You can hear them coming from a ways.
Somebody be solar powered or something like that, because the battery would give out.
He knew how to live off the grid, so he might have done. He
did
some
stuff
solar
like
power.
that, yeah.
Yeah, and it's still from a distance it would fool people, but up close it's just like click, 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 whir, click, 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 whir.
Well, you know something ain't right about it, yeah. Well, he's a great American and a great Murfreesborian and a great friend to Red State Update, and we still mourn his loss. He was murdered, and that's a story in itself. We don't still things up in the air, but you're not allowed to talk about it, or else. Well, you'll hear it from Ghostbird if you get into it too much. So we're just gonna let it go. Mayor Ghostbird, excuse me.
Yeah, Ghostbird's the mayor.
Mayor Ghostbird, but
we can't do it. We can't catch you up on everything.
No, you just have to, read newspaper or something. I don't know. But bless his heart, tax time. We all miss him. We miss him all the time, but especially around this time of year. So what we're gonna do is it's kind of a celebration. Memorial sort of thing, but memorial sometimes sound like it's sad, hanging heads low. But we're gonna go down. It's Murfreesboro Square. It's next week. It's running through Thursday through Friday, and it's a Don Podge Memorial Festival. There'll be some of them Don bots around there. There'll be some of those. They rounding some up.
You can't control them, but
you can put them. They're gonna put them in a like
pen.
a fence. Yeah, a pen. So you
it's
can
a little
look
bit like Westworld. The first generation of the Westworld robots. If you watch the HBO, the acclaimed HBO drama, did you watch any of that?
You
acclaimed?
tried to tell me, said, look, some man, I fell asleep. I ain't gonna watch it. Ain't hardly any Western in it. Westworld, Yul Brynner robot, but he's still cowboy. This one, I ain't careful most time and leave stuff alone. Don't need to make it new or anything.
You just as soon had Westworld without the robots.
Well, I don't need a robot. If you're going to have a robot, at least put him in the West. That's how I look at it. If I ain't going to sit through a robot no other way.
But even this one dropped the ball as far as getting you to pay attention to a West.
I didn't. It's boring to me. I didn't know what everybody's talking about. I didn't care about anybody. I didn't like it.
So they're going to round up some Don bots. They're going to have them in a pen down there. What is this? What are they calling it?
It's like the Don Podge Memorial Festival, I think,
It's mostly to burn your receipts.
Well, yeah, they're going to have burning booze all around the square because, if I only had one, everybody would be lining up to that. So it's going to be.
Yeah, no line. That's the Don Podge hated lines.
No, if you was there, you never went to his office. There was nobody in there but you and him. That was the way it was.
And if by some chance somebody extra showed up, they'd be like, what? I thought I told you to come alone.
Yeah.
I was like, but no, we got our appointment mixed up or whatever. So one of you son of bitches got to go down to Ruby Tuesday till I call you.
Yep. He had a way of doing things, but, he stuck to them. A man that makes a set of rules and actually sticks to them in this day and age is something to be said for. We don't see it too much. And I think that's a dying breed, unfortunately.
It's hard to say Don Podge sometimes with this current political climate and with the Trump in the White House. And Don Podge was kind of hard to nail down politically, but he wasn't much. Some of the stuff he liked about Trump and some of the stuff he didn't. And then it would have been good to talk to him, get his perspective. His paranoid undertaker,
oh, yeah.
line-hating receipt burning
I wish
perspective on
I
some of
just
this.
wish he's ran to that and
I
everything
feel like
else,
he
yeah.
missed his time. Like some men are made for a certain time, and I feel like this is Don Podge.
He was
time.
ahead of his time, as you say. Yeah, I think so, yeah. But bless his heart, we're going to remember him in the time that he was here, and I'm grateful that I got to spend a lot of that time with him. And he's a good man, and they're going to be, it's a Don Podge Memorial Festival, Murfreesboro Square, and it's going to be a hell of a day. We're going to have a good time. There will be some Undertaker impersonators there in honor of a Dom. And
Are they Undertaker impersonators or are they Don Podge impersonators?
Well, there'll be a little bit of both.
No.
So, and who's who, what's what, you don't know, and that's how Dom liked it to be. And
Jackie, and also speaking of a man who missed his time,
yeah,
the Undertaker. He's not him. Undertaker. I guess they retired him.
he retired. How old is the Undertaker?
73.
Well, yeah, it's time to rest.
But they made him lose to Roman Reigns, and everybody hates Roman Reigns supposedly, except I think children like him. But I'm not sure about that.
Well,
I'd have to ask some children.
Well, they like children is going to be the audience after all of us died off.
But the
so
grown-ups
that's who you
don't
want.
like him. Isn't it about the grown-ups too?
Well, when it comes to wrestling, I don't know so much.
I don't know either.
Yeah.
Anyway, they had this guy that a lot of people hate beat. I guess it'd be like instead of Trump beating Hillary, if Trump beat like that baby giraffe. People would be like, wow. Everybody's like, well, it was like a choice between a stick of shit and a piece of shit.
Hey,
Like 2 pieces of shit. How do you decide? That's what a lot of people say. So I voted for Trump. That's what they usually say. Well, I hated both of them, so I voted for Trump.
yeah.
You don't hear a lot of people say, I hated both of them, so I voted for Hillary. It doesn't go that way. I
Nope.
think people, they're both terrible, so I went with the one who wants to put Mexicans in jail.
Yeah.
2 pieces of shit. Can you believe this lion? She, power hungry, just despicable, having people murdered, and then Trump's an idiot, but I'm going to vote for him. 2 pieces of shit I hate, but he might be worse to brown people. So I guess I'll go with him.
Yeah.
They didn't say that last part out loud, but it's funny when people say these 2 assholes. Oh, I can't decide who to vote for.
I hate both of them. Yeah, they're both
Oh,
awful.
hate both of them. What a choice. I'm voting for Trump. It's almost like the choice wasn't really that bad. But they just needed to say something before they got to the part about voting for Trump.
Nothing happened. They just went straight to the vote.
I don't mean to get political in the middle of the sponsors.
Well, Don Podge wouldn't have minded that. He'd encouraged.
He
that whole
hated
thing.
Hillary Clinton, though. He would not.
Well, yeah,
like
he
Hillary.
did. He did. He did not like her at all. No, sir. No.
No, he was investigating her.
Yes. He had supposedly other people working on that, doing something. I don't know. Anybody keep an eye out on the Clintons, I thought was a good thing, but
Things change.
that's true. Yeah.
So come down, burn your receipts. If you didn't get your taxes done, you are in luck because now you can just dump them in a barrel and throw gas on them.
And down there, they'll be handing out many constitutions, of course. Get down there and get you one. Everybody needs a copy of that. And
Frame jobbers
yeah,
will frame them up there.
Well,
They
they're-
say, while you wait, $10 a frame.
yeah, they'll take good care of it for you. So, well, bless his heart, we won't remember Dom in the best way we can, and I can't think of a better way. So
No,
it's
'cause-
Murfreesboro Square Thursday.
Not paying your taxes is patriotic, and
Yeah.
it remembers a loved one.
Absolutely, absolutely. Don Podge, rest in peace. We miss you, and I look forward to celebrating your name later on this week. So, yeah, come down to the Don Podge Memorial Festival, Murfreesboro Square. It'll be Thursday through the weekend, I believe, something like that, yeah.
Jackie, did you praise Jesus today?
Well, yes, you're supposed to do that, every day. I know you're supposed to do it extra today.
It's Easter Sunday. You always say, well, I try to go to church on Easter and Christmas. Did you go to church today?
I didn't make it down there.
I offered to drive you to my church.
I'm not going to go. That ain't a church. That's not a church what you got. That's something illegal as far as I'm concerned.
Folks, what Jackie's talking about is the naked church.
Oh, hell.
This is Brother Dunlap coming to you live on W Podcast.
What are you hitting on? What is it?
That sounds more like a soap opera, I think, than a church. How should I do this to make it sound like a church? Just like this? No, maybe.
That sounds more like soap opera, yeah, than church, yeah.
Maybe if I go down here. I really should learn to play this before I start doing it on the... No, that's not good. I'll just use it for... every once in a while, I'll just bang on it. Folks, today's Easter Sunday, and if you have forgotten, Jesus died for your sins. Think about what a piece of shit you are.
Hey, don't say it that way.
And then think about Jesus, the greatest person who ever lived. And what did he do? He died on the sins
Died
for your
for
cross.
Your sins, yeah.
That's probably enough of that. This is pretty good because we got me banging on a keyboard and us eating all in one episode.
Yeah.
Folks, I run a little church down there in Murfreesboro, Tennessee called the Naked Church. And
Not
this is a
church.
church.
That's not a church. It's a church building with people acting like heathens inside.
It's at the Mount Shepherd Pasture Church, and we do it before they have their actual church. We do it in the mornings. We do it in mid-afternoons. And we started doing an after the clubs lit out service because we have a lot of strippers who are
All right.
interested, who are either Christian curious, naked curious, or Christian naked curious.
Why? A stripper takes clothes off already. They don't need to go do it at church.
Well, it brings in a lot of other folks. And you don't need to take, as I've said before, you don't have to take your clothes off.
Well, I ain't gonna
no.
take my clothes off. I don't want to be around other people taking their clothes off either. Why anybody would want to go to church and have that don't make a damn bit of sense. That's a bunch of bull.
Wait. You hear that siren?
I did, yeah. It's heading the other way now. Used to always come from right to the left. Now it's the opposite.
Now it's going down. It's still going to Longhorn
Yeah,
Station Park,
just-
but we're in a different
We're
location.
at a different location. You can
You'd
hear
think this would be more soundproof in here, but it sounds exactly the same.
Yeah.
Folks, nothing comes between you and a close relationship with God like your clothes. So get rid of them, shuck them off, come down here. We don't judge. We don't stare. I mean, if something's really wrong with you, we might take a second look like, what the hell?
Shut up.
But for the most part, folks, we ain't going to be around forever. We may not last the week. Get down to Naked Church. Here's the 2 things you need to do before Trump ends the world. You need a closer relationship with Jesus Christ so that you can get into heaven.
Yes, that you do. Yes.
And to get that closer relationship, you need to get naked with about 40 to 50 to 60, 70. Membership is booming. Down here at Mount Shepherd Pasture Church, Naked Church, with Brother Dunlap.
That's just, all that is just like on the 70s when they used to have it, was a nudist.
Yep.
Colonists.
Yep.
That's what they used to, there was a thing everybody tell, oh, that nudist colonist, that's just look, and young people always like, oh, I want to go look at that nudist colonist or what that is, and they get down there, peek through the bushes, and it ain't a bunch of old people.
Yep.
Run around, playing shuffleboard or whatever it is, and they say, what the hell I want to look at that for? And that's how you learn. You don't.
Well, then maybe, Jackie, maybe, Jockey, too, maybe this ain't about looking. Maybe I've actually stumbled into a rich vein of spirituality. Maybe the times have made this church a necessity. Maybe I was put on this earth to make people take their clothes off and get closer to God.
Wow.
Maybe I was made for these times, just like Don Podge was, but he's dead. But I'm still here, and in his name and in Jesus' name, amen. You'd think, after weeks of Naked Church, I'd be a little better at handling organs. Folks, people, Let me tell you about what happened this morning, Jackie, and if you're going to tell me that the hand of God is not in the middle of all these naked people, if you can still sit there and say that.
Hear anything about anybody taking their clothes off anywhere, and especially not church, and especially not on Easter.
Well, we were having a handshake and hug fellowship moment down there at the church. Between the services, between the after the strip clubs let out service.
I don't want to hear
and
about
before the actual church gets in their service, there's a little bit of a crossover, and I was introducing Jade to Mr. and Mrs. Polka.
Right.
People were shaking hands, saying, "How you doing? How's your week, man? Happy Easter, praise be." Naked as a jaybird. Few people clothed. Some people come naked one week, and the next week they're like, "You know what? I just didn't want to shave." And I say, "Well, all are welcome here. Did you rent your towel?" And then they give me some money. And remember, renting a towel is not the same as tithing. You got to have a towel to sit on. So we don't get nothing. So we leave that is one of the mottos of Naked Church. Leave this church cleaner than when we come in.
All right. I don't want to hear about it.
So it really helped. We got together. There's tithing. There's renting a towel. And then we all got together and put some money in to buy a Roomba.
All right.
So we let that robot vacuum cleaner just run between the pews to get up all the, did I say pews or pubes?
Just shut your
Run
mouth.
between the pews to suck up all the pubes so that when the people come in for the 11 a.m. service.
Enough.
But, Jackie, and this is where you're going to see the hand of God down among all these naked people. This morning, it was Easter morning, and we were all in there naked and praising God and shaking hands and hugging each other and jumping up and down a little bit and shaking and sometimes getting the Holy Spirit. And jumping up and down and shaking and reading them hymnals.
Just shut up. I don't want to hear about
Singing.
naked people jumping, singing, and nothing with the hymnal.
And then the door opened. And unbeknownst to us, they were having a special Easter morning sunrise service.
Wow.
First one in was Mrs. Langley. She was aghast. And here come in the song leader. Come in the preacher and his wife and their children. A lot of children. Let me tell you who goes to church on Easter. Lots of children.
No. Now, see, this is when I start saying something's illegal about all this. This is not how it's supposed to be working. This is not how church is done.
You sound like them, Jackie. You sound like these people who intruded on our
They went to church on Easter. They didn't intrude on anything. You're naked in a church. You go be naked in somebody's house or out in the yard somewhere. Not in a church. That's not what you do. The only place supposed to be naked, a bathroom and a doctor. That's it.
You don't sleep naked?
Just shut your mouth.
Bedroom, boudoir.
Bedroom, boudoir, whatever. All
bedroom,
right, that's
bathroom at
three.
least. Kitchen?
Kitchen?
When you're cleaning?
No.
Or dancing?
No.
Folks, they caused quite a scene, and I said, Mrs. Langley, why don't you come over here and sit next to me on this organ? And I was sitting there naked, and she was in her Easter best.
All right.
And she started playing some softerness, better chorded Easter organ music, and I started telling them people, folks, look, time is short. We need to approach Jesus Christ from a place of vulnerability. We don't need to be sitting there showing everybody what we spent $40 on at JCPenney. Look at here, look at this fancy Easter shirt.
Just shut up.
I said, start taking your shirt off, Carl.
No.
Betty,
No.
take your shirt off.
Nobody needs to take their clothes off at church.
One button at a time, folks. One button at a time. Sweet Jesus. And so I slowly started getting them clothes. Not all of them. A lot of parents left. But our attendance tripled today. And the pastor of I never thought I'd say this, Jackie, but today I saw the balls of the pastor
right.
of Mount Shepherd
just
Pasture.
shut
Pastor?
your
Did I
mouth.
say pastor or pasture? I saw the balls of the
Hey!
pastor of Mount Shepherd Pasture. Pubes.
All right.
Folks, Easter morning miracle. Mount Shepherd Pasture. He said we're going to co-pastor naked up there together. Preaching, renting towels, tithing, playing the organ. And I think that when Jesus looks down from heaven and he says, oh, God, what are they up to today? And he sees us all in there naked and praising and loving and getting closer to him, he's going to say, you know what? That really turned my day around. I was having a terrible day. And seeing them do that, that gives me enough fuel to get through the rest of my afternoon.
No, Jesus
Get through
don't
my
have
commute.
terrible days in heaven. He don't know what he went through the terrible, and then Easter got up, got over it, and went to heaven. And
That's
and
putting a lot of pressure on Jesus, if you ask me.
Well, I didn't put it on him. The good Lord put it on him, and they're all there together. They're related.
Oh,
so
Jesus can't have a bad day, Jesus. You better not have a bad day.
Well, he don't anymore. He had the worst day anybody ever had.
He had a bad day.
And then God took him up to heaven, and now he died for the sins of all of us.
Yeah.
And now he don't have bad days anymore.
My
have bad days.
Jesus can have a bad day if he wants to.
Not up in heaven. He don't. He sure don't.
I'd say he's going to have fewer bad days when he sees all the progress I'm making and getting all these naked hearts closer to him.
No, sir. No.
I tell you what, boy, we have now. It's true. Most of the people with small children are not coming back. They're not coming back.
Children don't need to be around adults with their clothes off. Anywhere.
It's like the 60s didn't happen in your mind.
I wish it didn't. I'm still trying to get it out of my head.
So, folks, that is the Naked Church. Next week, it ain't Easter, but we still want to see you down there. Don't go to JCPenney and buy a green damn shirt or something purple. Come, you know what you show up wearing? At Naked Church, 2 nipples, if you still got them.
That's it. Shut your mouth. I'm not going to talk about it anymore. That's it.
Should I just, done one at a time, maybe?
You don't know how to do any of it. You don't know how to have no kind of church, and you don't know how to play an instrument. All you know how to do is take your clothes off and act like an idiot. That's it.
Jackie, you sound like damn somebody like Footloose. Like, oh, we don't get naked in this town. Well, I'm rock and roll Kevin Bacon.
Footloose.
But I love Jesus also, which makes me a triple threat. So guess what? We do take off our clothes.
Well,
I'll take mine off right now.
no, you ain't. I'll call, if you take your clothes off, I'll call the damn law, come and drag your ass back to jail or back in your naked church or wherever the hell it is. You ain't going to be no naked head jockeys. No, sir.
Oh, sounded like a true jockey too.
Well.
Oh, that sounds good. Oh, I should have done that.
Well, everybody, it's Jacob Rolls here.
Folks, people, it's Dunlap.
Got a lot of news to cover. Got a lot to talk about here. Most of us all awful and don't want to talk about it, but I guess that's what we do.
Got a lot of Easter candy still to get through.
I ain't gonna be sick to my stomach if I eat no more of that. I ate a Dove, a Twix, and a Kit Kat. That's 3 big chocolate things.
How many?
I ate a Twix egg.
Uh-huh.
I ate a Dove
With the peanut butter in
butter
it.
inside, and then I ate the rabbit Twix, whatever.
Oh, yeah, the rabbit
That's
ears.
too much.
Bunny ears.
Too
Kit
much.
Kat.
Yeah, Kit Kat. I mean, yeah.
Folks, if you know anybody that works for the Twix Corporation, and I mean, we can't keep eating these candy bars this way. We need their money.
I'm gonna eat this crunch. I didn't try this. It's Crunch Egg is what it is, right?
Yeah,
Crunch
Nestle Crunch Egg.
I'm gonna take a bite.
We're just gonna take it. We're gonna let Jackie eat a bite of this candy bar. Then we're gonna get straight into this news because we got so much news.
I eat it. Yeah.
I heard the crunch on it.
Well, yeah,
What do you think? Is it too thick? Some of these are too thick. When you make them in egg shape and the fat belly part of it gets too thick, and it's too much.
That's too much right there. Yeah.
But for Twix, it works best. It works best somehow.
Well, it's got that because it's got all three, and they're just size just right. Cookie inside, yeah. Yeah, crunch need to be thin. Don't need to be thick like an egg.
Too fat. That belly of that egg too fat. Oh, for a crunch.
Yeah.
That belly of that egg too fat for that crunch. Jackie,
Yeah.
do we need to talk more about Bill O'Reilly? We talked about him a little bit in the sponsors.
Well, he's just getting rid of him because you could already tell he's an awful person. And on top of it now, I guess he's mean to women, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
That can be a part of being an awful person. But I think in his case, you might want to separate him out.
Yeah.
Because I don't think we knew how bad he was to women.
Well,
although
I mean, he gets paid to be awful on TV. That's what he scream at people. That's what they like.
let me tell you what his show is half the time is he does something, he gets in the news about it, and for the next week he has a variety of blonde ladies. No offense to them. That might sound a little patronizing or like I'm diminishing them, but they are blonde ladies that Bill O'Reilly pays to have on his show to kiss his ass.
So when the cameras go off, that's what you're saying. He wants it to
He
wants that to keep going. Yeah.
If he's doing that in public, in front of everybody, what's he asking them to do?
I don't know.
So I'm going to get you on here, and I want you to tell me what you really think about the interview I gave last week. What do you think about the? And then they're like, well, he likes it when they're a little spunky. I don't know about that.
Well, every show is about him. He's talking about what somebody said about what he said 2 weeks ago or something. If I like TV shows, I like to see about it. If it's supposed to be about something, it should be about something. All of his shows are just about what he does, what he said.
Now, they said he's taking this vacation that was scheduled a long time ago.
Well, that's he was scheduled or whatever. He scheduled, but all the advertising, all the commercials gone off his show. He's the biggest show on Fox. I don't know. I guess they're hoping that you go on vacation when you get back. Hopefully people forget about it. But we'll see. I don't know.
I heard his ratings went up, but I don't know if that's true. That may be more fake news.
Who knows what to believe? People like him anyway. It don't matter if you. I don't see how are you gonna get more people to like you by being awful to people? Well,
that seems to be working nowadays.
Yeah, that's kind of what gets you. If it gets you the White House, what else can it get you?
It used to be if you were an asshole, a sex offender, a pervert, a son of a bitch, a dumb dickhole motherfucker.
Hey, what's the matter?
What are you eating?
I'm making like this crunch.
It's too fat.
Well, I'm sitting here gonna go waste.
And you wanted people to not think you were an asshole or a dickhole motherfucker or whatever. Then you would act less like one. You're like, I want to go far in life, but people think I'm an asshole. I should act less like an asshole.
It don't work that way no more.
Nowadays, if you're an asshole and you want to get somewhere, you just got to double down on it.
Yeah, you can't half rear end that. Yeah.
And now that we know how things worked out, when Donald Trump said that he could shoot somebody in the middle of 2nd Avenue or wherever, I think he was floating that to see if he really could.
Don't tell me he couldn't.
I guess he could, but the question is, would that push him over would he have won like the popular vote if he'd shot somebody? I don't know that he wouldn't have.
Well, yeah.
We thought, oh, listen to him, he's just bragging, and it slowly sunk in that he was right. But now I think it may not have been just like, oh, I could do it. It was more like, should I? Is this what would really lock it down for us?
If he went out and did that later on Easter, let's say Easter Sunday, went out and shot an American citizen in the face, How many people gonna get on computer Twitter to defend that? Honestly.
Oh,
How many
well,
people?
what's his floor? Like 29%, 28%? So like 29, 28% of Republican. I'm not sure how that all works out. I ain't Nate fucking Silver, but it would be more people than you would think.
He would say, go out there. What's that movie where people go kill people every one time a year? Purgings. He'd say, we're going to go out. I'm going to kill one person every week to let y'all know who's boss in this town. And there would be 29, 30% of people who would be all for that.
Yeah, that would be if he's like, I'm going to kill somebody every week, that would be super popular. That would be a very popular. He kind of has started doing that with these bombs anyway.
Well, yeah. He ain't killing one person. He killing, yeah.
I forget. Presidents actually kind of do that, except it's not American citizens. It's people over there.
Well, I'm saying if he went and killed American citizens, there'd be a percentage of people hate. Now, there'd be people protesting, people suing him, people trying to put him in jail, that too, thank God. But the fact that there'd be 29% of people saying, well, I think that's a good idea, Mr. President, and I'm willing to be the next one you shoot.
Again, I don't know if it'd be 29% of them. It'd be more like 29% out of like maybe 50%. So it'd be more like a 10, 12%, maybe 15%.
Well, any percent
it would
that
grow over time.
Any percent that likes that or would defend that, something is wrong.
They do not mind him. He's backtracked on a few things since he won. He's gone back on a few campaign, not promises so much, themes, I'd say. NATO is bad. Now NATO's not bad.
Whoever talks to him, he will change his mind 8 times in one conversation. Have you seen interviews with him? Don't act like, and all these liberals, all of y'all sitting there going, oh, the hypocrisy, and how can y'all stand this, blah, 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 blah. People watched him on every news channel running for president, and in a news interview would say the complete opposite of what he started that shit as saying. He did that how many times? Over and over again. So don't act like, how can you, if they voted for him, they put him in the damn White House. Why is anybody going to give a damn about him changing his mind every 2 minutes?
I guess you're right. I guess at some point we expect people to have voted for him for some particular reason, but maybe not. Like NATO, China, like him bombing other countries, people thought he was going to stick closer to home, America first. Janet Yellin, he likes Janet Yellin now.
I didn't used to not like her, but he did.
It doesn't matter. Everybody thinks, well, these people, like, they didn't believe he was really going to take away the health care. They didn't really believe that he was going to do this or that. Now, he is losing. This may be the hole in your theory, Jackie. He is losing some of the racists, some of the anti-Semites.
Now, he's making the racist, man, and I'm all for that. That's fine. First off, racists already live a life mad as hell all the damn time, especially if they're living in this damn country, because they just mad about everybody else that ain't white. Now, these people are already mad, so it don't take much to push them over the edge. Now, you talk about old Steve Bannon. Now, a lot of racist people like him, and supposedly Trump's had enough of him pushing him out the door.
I think that may be the key to Steve Bannon, is that he finally has friends.
Yeah. Nobody ever felt sorry for him before, except, now racists mad at Trump.
Like, how can you sink so low as to hang out with racists and David Dukes and anti-Semites and frog people? And it's because you finally feel accepted.
Yeah, David Duke all mad at Donald Trump now. Mad at him, yeah.
Just
Klan mad.
disappointed.
Nazis mad. Yeah, all those people. Remember, just think about that room of people that went all on the news as soon as he got elected. Now all hail Trump, all the Nazis in there. All those fellas just sad, disappointed. He let them down. He did.
He is really letting down a lot of these people who draw like flaming stars of David over Jared Kushner. Now, nobody's a fan of Jared Kushner.
It don't have nothing to do with him being Jewish, you know. I'll say that. He's 20 years old. He don't know a damn thing. I don't care what religion you are. He married into some money, and he had money too, and now he said, oh, you go take care of it. I'm going to see. I'd love to travel and have American citizens pay for it. Daddy?
Would you go to Iraq if somebody... I'd like to go to Iraq. Not for a long time.
No, I'd go over there and support the troops.
Say what's up?
There's still troops and stuff over there. People used to go over there all the time and make them happy, and that's good. But I'm telling you right now, Jared Kushner don't make nobody happy when you send him anywhere. Nobody. Ain't one person in the armed forces excited. If you told all the people in the armed forces, now some of them do like Trump. Trump's going to be here next week. They'd be head over heels. And it's next week rolls around. No, instead, we sit this old Jared Kushner down to you. Ain't nobody going to like that.
A lot of Twitter racists say, President Trump, we didn't vote for your Jew son-in-law.
Yeah.
We voted for you.
That right there, your argument's already. As soon as you say I voted for Trump, I'm at the door. I just, you know, whatever you. There's no reason. I don't want to hear the rest of it. I don't want to hear what's wrong or why you upset or anything like that.
Here's where the White House gets confusing these days. So you got old Sean Spicer in there. He's doing them press conferences and hopping around, jumping up and down. It reminds me of what was that guy, Benny Hinn? Was that he? Reminds me of Benny Hinn for some reason. I don't know why. It reminds me of a TV preacher.
Yeah.
Plagued by scandal, like on the last days of them, like the last days of Jim and Tammy Faye.
Jim Baker, yeah.
And it's 100 days in.
He already there. Yep.
But it's hard to tell in this strange mix of a White House when Sean Spicer says that Hitler didn't gas his own people. Are we supposed to read that as a Holocaust denial, ignorance, him just being a dumbass fuck up?
Hey, watch your mouth, but yeah.
Or him really trying to stick it to the Jews? He apologized and seemed actually embarrassed for it to have happened. But if you work for a president, for an administration that has embraced some anti-Semitic elements,
yeah,
you can't feel too sorry for Sean Spicer. And surely even Sean Spicer must understand why people wonder.
He ain't helping the situation. It's already awful. And people always say, oh, it's hard. That's the hardest job you can do. Good Lord, bless his heart. Y'all jumping on him and just, he ain't been able to do it once good. Not once.
It started off pretty bad.
It started off bad. It has gotten worse. And even people who like Trump, why are you supporting him? Because he ain't helping your situation all. If anything, he's making it work. Of course, Trump wanted to fire him in the beginning, supposedly.
So Spicer somehow has managed to cling on. I think if you fire your press man.
Where's he got Kelly Ann Conway headed? He got her somewhere.
Is she in the Bannon camp? If he lets Steve Bannon go, I always want to say Race Bannon, and what an insult to Race Bannon.
Yeah.
If he lets Steve Bannon go, who goes with him? Kellyanne Conway?
I guess. I don't know where she is now. I don't see her anymore. I used to see her all the time. Now you don't.
You know what? She's smart. She's laying low.
Well, you know, if I was Spicer, I would have done that day too.
She's down in a bunker. Well, he can't lay low. He got the worst job. He's got to go out there every damn day. So
what the hell is her job then?
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows. Yeah.
Her job is to lay low.
What's Jared Kushner's job? I don't know. What is she? His daughter?
Don't know.
What is Steve Bannon really? Because he was on the Homeland Security. They got him off of that. So what is it now? This everybody's advisors, right? That's what you call it.
Yeah. All these people are advisors.
It's the worst advisors you could just.
What about the damn Gary Cohen?
Yeah.
Cohen.
Yeah.
What about damn, what's her name, Dina Powell? What are these people? What do they do?
I don't know what to do. Don't know first thing
I
about
guess
it.
he's going to cut all the actual offices and all the actual departments in the government, and he's just going to have a bunch of advisors made up of family, Wall Street insiders, and Klan members.
Well, who else is in need, right?
Look, a Klan member's not going to get along with a Wall Street insider. They're just not going to do it.
Yeah.
But all you got to do is some intersectionality between the Klan and the Wall Street insiders, the globalists. When I say globalists, I don't mean like, I'm not secretly saying Jew. I mean, I guess I'm using their language, the let's just say Wall Street insiders.
Yeah.
And racists don't always get along.
No.
Because blatant racism can cost you money. Steve Bannon's on the way out because Trump wants to make money, and Steve Bannon wants to shake everything up.
Well, what's going to happen to old Sessions after Bannon's gone and all that?
Sessions, I don't know. He's also he's testing his boundaries. He's slithering around in the trees.
Well, everybody says he's a racist. They said, because of things he said in the past and whatnot. Well, he is an old segregationist, isn't that?
He's learned how to be a racist by fighting the drug war and putting black people in jail for marijuana.
Yeah.
For stopping black people for no reason and putting them in jail. He knows how to be a modern racist. Steve Bannon was like, why do we need to hide behind these highfalutin profit prison incarceration laws? Let's just wear our hoods on the outside. There's something more honest about that Steve Bannon way of racism.
It's just as awful. It's all awful, all of it.
Steve Bannon, I think, is doing it more for free, and Jeff Sessions has figured out how to make money off of it. Steve Bannon, I think, just doing it because he likes it, because he thinks it's smart.
Yeah.
He's one of them people that thinks it's smart to be racist. Well, I read a book, and and about how white people are better.
Made sense to me, so.
So Kellyanne Conway's gonna come stomping through the ashes after that White House gets burned down and be like, oh, hey, what'd I miss? And Trump be like, oh, Kellyanne, good to thank God you're here. Bannon's gone. Dr. Gorka's gone. Stephen Miller faded into the shadows. None of these people are going to be gone, though. Let's get this clear. They may leave the Trump administration,
White House, but yeah,
they are going to be around like I didn't see a body. If you don't see a body at the end of a cliffhanger TV show, movie, comic book, they're gonna turn up again. All these rogues gallery, they're gonna keep turning up.
So we all got that to look forward to.
You fly United, Jackie?
Hell no, I don't fly. I wouldn't get on. I don't like getting on an airplane to begin with, so I'd try not to go out of my way to get on. What airport? Where was on when we went to North Carolina? What
We
airport?
went to Nashville.
Went to Nashville once.
We went into Boston when we went into that's Yankee territory. You can't get much more Yankee
That's
in
what I'm
Boston.
saying. Yeah, we went up there on
Went to
airplane.
New Hampshire in the damn snow. We had paid for our ticket and we were not carried off screaming.
No.
But now what if you'd paid for the ticket and they said, we're going to give you some money to get you off this plane. And we said, no, we got to get to New Hampshire and make some YouTube videos. Very important for us to make YouTube videos.
Yeah.
For these 1,200, 1,300 people that's going to watch them. And they said, well, how about we give you $800? Like, no, I'm sorry. That's actually more money than we will make this year, but I cannot take it because we got to get to New Hampshire. Freedom and democracy, man. We're journalists. Back the fuck up.
We made a commitment mainly. It took other people's money, said we'd do it, so we had to do it. Even as much as I'd wouldn't mind. If somebody's basically put it to me this way, I'll give you $800 to not have to go listen to Marco Rubio. Normally, that's a good deal.
That is a good deal.
That's a good deal. But in our case, we had made a commitment to people who had been kind enough to give us some money to go up there. So yeah, we would have had no choice but to say, no, we got to go. It's what we said we'd do.
There were times up there when I would have paid $800 to walk out of a Rubio rally.
Yeah, absolutely. I would have too. Yeah.
But if they'd come up to you and said, "Sir, we're taking you off this airplane," how would you have handled that, Jackie? Would you have stood your ground?
I would have tried to. I'd hope it wouldn't beat me up like it did this fella did. He had blood coming out of the side of his head, whatever they did to him.
You can't really fight back on an airplane because that's when they throw you in Guantanamo.
Yeah. When you there's breaking laws and then there's breaking airplane laws, or it's a lot more strict. Yeah, you don't know what they'll do. They'll keep you. There's a lot of people that didn't do nothing, and airplane laws Trump kept them all handcuffed all day long because of whatever thing he tried to do.
I think everybody's scared as shit. Like the one reason that this video, this whole case came such a big deal is because everybody's scared. That scares you in like 8 million different ways.
Yeah.
Take somebody that ain't white off a plane. Flying sucks anyway. Nobody likes to fly. It's awful. There's all these terrorism laws, so you never know. You're afraid to pack a thing of shaving cream, afraid they're going to, like TSA, going to throw you under the airport and hook some jumper cables up to your goddamn testicles.
Hey, don't say it with the language.
Go homeland on you. And you just wanted to shave your back or face. Then there's cops kicking people in the damn head. There's a lack of customer service. There's just a feeling that we're all doomed, just a general sense of doom, that the cards are stacked against us, and we're sitting here like sitting damn ducks waiting for somebody to set us on fire, blow us up, or drag us off screaming.
Yeah, it's American dream right there, yeah.
And flying sucks, so that part also.
Yeah, I don't like being in there cooped up in that thing for too long. I don't like nothing small in for a long time.
It ain't cheap to fly on a plane. But on the other hand, it does get you across the country in like 5 hours. So that's kind of amazing.
Yeah.
That's probably worth $300.
That's a big deal. I still appreciate somebody that, technology or whatever, somebody built it. Old Wright brothers. Remember Wright brothers years ago?
Which ones were they?
They built the airplane.
Oh.
Built the
What do you
first
think
one.
they'd say if you could go back to Kitty Hawk and say, hey, and what? So look at here at this phone. I don't know how you get service, but you show. Look at this video here. This man being drug off.
They probably wouldn't have built the airplane. They probably said, well, if they're going to use our invention for evil, maybe man shouldn't be in the sky.
And then one of them said, well, maybe there's good things about it too. And the other one said, like, you stupid. And they just start fighting.
Yeah, just fighting. I think a wing should be this way. I think propelling them two just fight.
That's
Oh, and old
funny.
Lord, I always think it's the old timing movies, and it ain't necessarily the same when you see old timing movies, Kitty Hawk or whatever. So what is old Lauren Hardy, fat and skinny? Remember?
Yeah, but they weren't smart enough to build a plane.
No, but them trying to or something. You just see them trying to build something and just messing it up. They never would have got off the ground.
Speaking of dumb people doing things, Trump dropped that bomb at mother of all bombs. He dropped that big ass bomb. See, he knows people like you when you drop bombs.
Well, that Tolly Matt was with the sheriff. Now, I think sheriff that man ought to get whatever's coming to him. But dropping a bomb don't make you a big man. This man's dropping bombs all the time, gas bombs, everything else. He's awful. We know that he's awful. So it ain't just, it's who you drop the bomb on, how you do it, when you do it, all this. But dropping bombs is killing people no matter which way you look at it. But then all the newspaper, everything else. Well, look at that president right there. Look at there. Look at. So now, see what you told him. If things ain't looking up, if people protesting or whatever, I'll drop.
Drop a bomb on you.
Yeah.
He's mad at these protesters now. If his brain, he might be thinking these protesters need to be taught a lesson. They like it when I drop bombs, and I don't like protesters.
2 and 2 together, yeah. That's Trump logic right there, yeah.
Or the fact that damn North Korea shit is scary as hell. So like drop a bomb, shoot a rocket at Syria. Oh, it's beautiful. How presidential. He became president tonight, folks.
Yep.
CNN really should just burn itself down.
Yep.
If any CNN reporter has an ounce of self-respect, any of them, Wolf Blitzer, Anderson Cooper.
Yeah. None of them do, but
No.
yeah, not a soul on there does, but yeah.
Any of them did, they would go to work tonight with a can of gas and a box of matches, and they would say, folks, y'all probably going to want to get out of here. Jeff Zucker, I'm about to light this motherfucker on fire.
Watch your mouth. That's a good idea, but I don't need
I'll
the language.
do better just spending the insurance money than we will poisoning America.
Yep.
But that ain't going to happen.
Nope.
Hell, CNN be better off showing them damn prison documentaries like MSNBC.
Anything better than what they got.
Shoot a rocket, you became president. Mother of all bombs,
Now, that's what I want to know. Now, some people said he didn't know anything about it. Some people said he did know about it, all this. I don't know. But to me, it seems like if you say the biggest bomb that's ever been dropped besides a nuclear bomb, to me, that's got Trump written all over it.
yeah. It may literally have had Trump written on it. We don't know.
I wouldn't be surprised, yeah.
If he had, before, get a stenciler. We need a stenciler. Somebody's going to drop a bomb that's branded Trump before this is all over. Hopefully it ain't going to be on us.
Yeah, I hope not, yeah. I hope you write that name on it, heading that way, yeah.
So shoot a rocket, good. Mother of all bombs, even better. Whether he signed off on it or not, he's eager to pass off blame when it's something he don't like. He doesn't know what's going on. Oh, I don't know. That's not me. That's Steve Bannon.
Bombs, he's always going to take credit.
He's going to take the credit for the big bomb. I like the idea of him calling Steve Bannon and Jared Kushner into the office. Did you hear that?
And shut him down, had a chat with him.
Like, you guys got to. And, like Jared Kushner ain't going nowhere.
You got to learn to like Jews. You got to learn. What does it tell Kushner how to learn?
What's the problem? You don't like Jews. You don't like racists. Okay, we can work this out.
The future of his country depends on it.
You gotta learn to like Jews a little, and you gotta learn to like racists a little.
At least learn to tolerate them.
Just long enough to get me in here for like 7 more years. Look, we can make life terrible for a lot of people if you two would just learn to tolerate each other.
It starts here, yeah.
Jeff Sessions in the back going, yeah. I don't know what that voice is for Jeff Sessions, but I really think of him as a snake.
Yeah,
like a snake.
Yeah.
He's just slithering around like damn Jungle Book snake. But with a southern accent, he looks like Henry Gibson too, so maybe I'm imagining something he did. That youth can be youthful. Back up into the ceiling.
Yeah.
That snake come down from the rafters. Just, crazy times, Jockey.
Yeah, I never thought I'd live to see anything as horrible as what I'm witnessing on a daily basis.
We barely talked about North Korea, but that's next. There's something going to happen there. Something going to happen.
I just don't want everybody to end up dead. North Korea tried to shoot another missile off, but this one, This one what
This
blew
one
up.
failed, but they say, oh, it's all coming to a head.
There's some rocket scientists who got a bullet for that one or something. But don't you know he was mad as hell when that thing didn't work right? He made a fool of me. That fella crazy.
Yeah, there's a rocket scientist who are meeting a flamethrower.
Yeah.
I hope to God that Trump really does know how to make deals. That somebody in his White House is talking to China and they're really figuring this shit out.
That's a big hope there, because we seen.
Well, what else is a hope? Buy something on Keith Springs Mountain and dig a deep hole?
Hell, I don't know. Maybe worth it at this point. I don't know.
I ain't got no money.
Well, at least we know whoever he talks to, he didn't like China till he sat down with that fella, and I'm sure that man said, "Oh, this cake is delicious, and this is a nice place here. I like all
the
this."
The cake.
Yeah, he had a cake with him. You know, it said so. Trump is pretty easy to read, I think, by any measure. Anybody that looks at him knows, you know, if he got any common sense to you, any bone of your body got any common sense, you can look at that man. No hell.
No, he is not a poker player.
No, sir. So you think about all these foreign leaders come over here scared or whatever, like everybody else scared, but like hell, I can say whatever I want to him. We're fine. Don't worry.
And I get some cake.
Yeah, if you compliment him, if you say two nice things, he gonna bend over backwards for you. You know, us presidents, you know how it is. I had to do this, I had to do that. You want some more cake? Trump thinking he's a big deal maker and all that too. That's the thing. A man from China, probably a smart fella, went back home and said, "Oh, we got nothing to worry about this guy." And then Trump's going back to his people and said, "I gave him some cake. It's all taken care of. Don't you worry. He got the best cake we had, and we got him on a short rope."
And back in China, they're going, "Oh, and how was the cake?" He's like,
it's all right. I guess I had better.
Jackie, as infuriating as all that is,
Yeah.
let's leave this podcast with probably the most infuriating news story of the week.
Yeah.
I hate to end on such a down note, Jackie, but this really pissed me the
Hey, watch your mouth.
Ooh, and things stick in my craw. Now, look, I know that we are about to go to bloody war with North Korea. I know that ISIS is probably sitting in the catbird seat. Everybody's manipulating our dumbass president. To what ends? Who knows? Who's going to ruin us first? Hard to say.
Well, that's the one thing we got going for us right there, because at least China knows after Trump talks to whoever else, you know, he going to be kissing their butt, so he can't stay loyal to somebody for more, whoever's in the room with him.
Let me say this also, that you bring up a good point about loyalty, because that's one of the, everything that we heard about Trump in the campaign that was supposed to be good about him. Oh, he's a deal maker. He's an idiot. He can't play poker, and you flatter him, and he folds like a card table.
Yep.
Oh, he's loyal. He's kicking Steve Bannon. It hasn't been 100 days yet. He ain't loyal to nobody.
Nope.
How many people did his campaign go through? He's the least loyal person that's ever been elected president.
Yep. He out for Trump, and that's it. You know, Kushner and her got the only leg
That's
up
family.
in that. Yeah,
That's it.
That's it. The rest of them, they can go.
And Tiffany Trump not doing that great.
Well, so family, it ain't that, you know, don't mean that much.
Jackie, my dander is up. Talk about pinheads.
Yeah.
It's going to piss me off.
That's how old Riley started all the time. Every time, who's been at the end? Now, you talk about pinheads. This fella here. Yeah.
This is from Law News with a Z. It's probably other places, but I found this on Law News with a Z. Navy SEAL.
Uh-huh.
Now, who is more heroic in today's America than the Navy damn SEAL?
Yeah.
Do we have any other heroes? Iron Man, Suicide Squad, and the Navy SEALs. That's it.
Iron Man's funny book. That ain't real.
Navy SEAL, America's heroes, investigated for allegedly doing porn for years. Now, The word investigate gets thrown around a lot these days. People want to investigate Hillary Clinton. People want to investigate the Trump campaign because they worked with Russia. People want to Trump wants to investigate who's paying these protesters to come out for the tax day protests.
Yeah.
When he says that, when he tweets that, somebody should look into who's paying for these protests. He's the president. He's the person that would look into it. So he doesn't want to look into things.
He wants to complain about things. He don't want to actually. That's the way you sent this man in the office. All he does is whine about this, whine about that. Actually fixing or looking into something is not what he does.
Or does he even know that he can? Does he think being president just means he's the most famous person in the world that gets to drop bombs?
As soon as he found out that he could, he'd be like, it's too much work. But no, he probably don't.
Navy SEAL investigated for allegedly doing porn for years. And we know if you get investigated, that means we can tar and feather you in the partisan press, fundraise off you for years and years. A longtime Navy SEAL is in trouble after he allegedly spent years in the porn industry. In trouble for being a Navy SEAL and for being in the porn industry, America's two heroes.
Why?
Why would you be in trouble for doing the best things in the world? Now, Navy Chef Special Chief, and he's a chef, and he can cook. Navy Chief Special Warfare Officer Joseph John Schmidt III, I like that song. His name is my name, too.
Oh, yeah.
Is being investigated by Naval Special Warfare Command. Well, those assholes need to shut the fuck up if you ask me.
Watch your mouth. I don't need to hear it.
And this may lead to any number of punishments, according to a San Diego Union Tribune report. Oh, hold on. I got to catch my breath a little bit. We have initiated a formal investigation into these allegations, said Captain Jason Salata, a SEAL spokesman with a stick up his ass.
Hey!
Not in a sexy porn way.
Just
either.
shut your mouth. I don't want to hear about that.
There are very clear regulations which govern outside employment by Naval Special Warfare personnel, as well as prohibitions on behavior that is discrediting to the service. All I heard about was a dude with a big dick fucking on camera. Doesn't sound like a discredit to me.
Watch your mouth.
Schmidt allegedly did not file required paperwork to get permission to do porn.
What?
Listen. We've bashed Trump on this show for an hour and a half. But when they say there are too many regulations, maybe, just maybe, in this case, they're onto something.
What kind of government paperwork do you have to fill out to do dirty movies?
He is accused of working under the name Jay Voom, doing at least 29 films in the last 7 years. Let's be honest, he should have done more. He's probably out on missions.
Well, I don't care anything about that, but if he's got a career in that, if the Army lets him go, why would it complain? Or Navy, excuse me. Navy let him go. He just go do that all the time. He'll be the most famous one that does that forever.
They shouldn't let him go, though, is the problem, Jackie.
Well, I agree with that.
Why'd you just take your $800? Why fight the airline? Let him do what you've been doing backwards.
If he's a Navy SEAL and done all, as many great things as they have done for this country, then I wouldn't recommend going to work in that kind of field of business. I don't think. But if he wants to do that on the side, I don't.
Any given branch of the U.S. military enforces pretty strict rules on how members moonlight. People have gotten in trouble posing in Playboy or Playgirl, using sensitive information to help design video games, or writing a first-person account of how Osama bin Laden died.
Oh, yeah, he got mad about that book that one fellow wrote.
It's a different kind of porn.
Yeah.
Punishments vary, but can include demotion, repayment of moonlight wages, and lowered pension benefits. It could be a bad end for Schmidt, who has served in the military for 23 years.
Yeah.
And was on his way to retirement. He declined to comment when the San Diego Union Tribune reached out. His wife, known as Jules Jade, had a lot to say, because porn stars don't get to talk to the San Diego Union Tribune that often. She's a porn star, has been on and off since 2001.
Ah.
They knew about it at work, she said. He got called in, and they said, look, keep it on the low. Don't mention the SEAL name, blah, blah, blah. He was pretty open about it, as you would be. I mean, honestly, all his buddies knew about it. Everybody knew about it. It is a little weird if you go around talking that much about how you do porn because everybody's going to watch you fucking.
Hey.
Which is cool to me, but I don't know how other people feel about it.
I don't want to hear. I don't feel anything bad. Except if I know somebody did that, I wouldn't want to look at it. Last thing I want to see.
So if you heard one of your okay, but let's talk about this, Jackie. If you heard that one of your buddies was doing porn, you wouldn't, just out of curiosity, take a look at it?
No, I wouldn't look at. I don't look at that with strangers in it. Why am I going to look at somebody I know in it? No, I don't look at that kind of things. That ain't. I don't think anybody gets anything good out of that. I don't. It's a waste of time, as far as I'm concerned.
So if you heard that Ed Reed down at the co-op had a porn, you wouldn't look at it?
No, hell no, especially not him. No, there ain't nobody I know personally that I want to see without the clothes or doing that. None of them. It's the same. I want to see so-and-so go to the bathroom. I don't want to see that either. There's something wrong with society. Look who we got in the White House. This story don't seem like... You mad at this man for serving the country and doing this? He gonna lose his job over that. Look who's in the damn White House.
Navy SEAL in trouble for consensual fucking on camera.
Hey.
President accused of sex crimes.
Well, I don't want to see him definitely in a movie like that or doing that sort of stuff. No, sir. Not Trump. Hell no.
Russia, you can sit on whatever you got.
Yeah, keep those videos you got of him, because I hope we never see him. I hope him and Russia sort this out so that don't get out to the world, please. For no other reason but that.
She claims her husband never tried to use his military service to enhance his porn career. It wouldn't have been possible anyway, she said, because the most famous male actors established themselves when they were young. The ones still working after many years are still kind of filming grandpa porn.
What?
She said the investigation is ironic and hypocritical. She mentioned having fans in Iraq and the soldiers in Iraq sent her a picture of an armored vehicle with her misspelled name on it. And anyway, then it's a lot about her. So let me just say, in closing, I think our Navy SEALs, our greatest heroes,
Well, yeah.
should not be punished for doing porn, but should be rewarded by being forced into careers in porn.
What?
We should reward them by making them porn stars, and when they get done being Navy SEALs and saving our asses, they should retire into that beautiful, welcoming porn industry where they can put them out to stud, sort of.
I don't got to be in the dirty movies to do that.
I mean, if they want to be.
If they want to be, that's something entirely different. I don't force nobody to do that.
I'm just saying, if they want to be, there should be a department of Veterans Affairs in the damn valley.
Well, learn from this fella here. If that's what you plan on doing, do the right paperwork. Evidently, this fella did not get the right paperwork to fill out to do dirty movies. So if you serve in the military and want to do that sort of thing, just make sure you cross every T, dot every I.
That sounds dirty, too.
What?
Now's the time that we both have to go. Our just have to say goodbye, friend. Saying bye-bye always brings us down. But our bags are packed and we have to leave town. A postcard to you we will send if a stamp to us you'll lend, so we can write and say goodbye, 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 goodbye.
Did you try some of these Snickers eggs?
Snickers.
Yeah, they got Snickers eggs.
I didn't see a Snickers. No, I had a rabbit,
Uh-huh.
Kit Kat,
Yep.
Twix Egg,
Uh-huh.
Dove Egg,
Uh-huh.
Crunch Egg, too
Uh-huh.
thick, too. It was good, but it's just too.
You try some of this Butterfinger egg?
I ain't gonna eat no Butterfinger. Told you that to begin with.
thought I was gonna trick you.
No, you ain't gonna trick me. If it says Butterfinger on it, I ain't gonna.
Yeah, but if you took
Eat
a
it.
wrapper off all these eggs and laid them up,
It's all chocolate. Yeah, you
Yeah,
wouldn't
you
have known
wouldn't
the
have
difference.
tell.
See what? I'd still know the taste as soon as I got a Twix Egg in my mouth. I know what,
but
what
it's
I-
funny look on your face.
Well.
I'll get you next year, Jackie.
No,
Bro.
sir. If you gonna have, well, I'll tell you this: if you put a Butterfinger down for me to eat, you better have a tall boy or a mug of beer, something, a lot of something for me to drink afterwards, because my mouth's gonna be dry.